Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a square root. So I'm going to rewrite it. The denominator of my fraction is going to go right here on the outside. And the a will go inside. Anytime I have something to the 1/2 power over is the same as square rooting. So when I have a 2 outside, if it's a 2, that means just to square root it. So I don't have to put that in my calculator because that square root symbol essentially does the same thing. But in our brain, just so we are aware, anytime we put a number outside, a 2 would mean we're square rooting something. So if I can't have fractional exponents and I rewrite them, what would this one rewrite to look like? What do I first need to put there? What did I first put over there? Square root, okay. A radicand, it's called a radicand. Now, what did I do with the denominator? I put it outside. So this time, I'm not taking the square root, I'm taking the cube root. 3 would be cubed. And then x goes on the inside. So anytime I have an exponent as a fraction, I want to rewrite it with a radicand. I'm not saying square root because we're not taking the square root every time, okay? I might take the power of 3 or the cubic root. So looking at this one, what does your brain tell you when you see parentheses and exponent laws? Multiply. Okay? Do we multiply the coefficient? No, we take it to the what? We take it to the power. So if I have 81 to the 1/4 power, can I have a fractional exponent? No. How do I want to rewrite that? With a square root? Yes. Okay. What else do I do with the square root?
You have to put the denominator outside.
Put that denominator outside. So I put the 4 outside. And what goes inside? 81. Alright, let me show you how to put this in your calculator. My calculator app is not working on my computer. And then I'm going to show you how to put it in Desmos. Okay, so I'm not taking the square root, correct? Because it's to the power of what?
The power.
4. Square only means 2. So what I'm going to do is look at under the control. Do you see the x squared button? What's above that in yellow? The square root, the radicand. What's above the caret in yellow, the mountaintop? N to the square root of x? Yeah. We're going to do that one. So we're going to say control, because anything we want in yellow, we're going to put control. We're going to say control caret, and I have something out front of my radicand and something inside. Do you see it? What am I going to put in the outside spot? 4. Put that. What am I going to put in the inside spot? 81. Okay. Do that and then don't say it. Let me show my Desmos people. Because even if you're a calculator right now, you might need to know it on Desmos, and it's different. On Desmos, follow with me. So on my keyboard, I have the square root symbol right there, but I can't, what's wrong? I can't do the number outside. So what I want, I'm going to go to functions, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the number theory section. And do you see the in root? I'm going to click that one. Now, do I have a spot for that 4? Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. What's the 4th root of 81? 3. So when I come back to my notesy page, so 81 to the 1/4 power is what? 3. The 4th root of 81 is 3. So I got that. I done?
No.
I gotta do what?
The multiplication.
The y, the multiply. So now that I have a regular old Jane exponent, I can multiply. So I'm gonna say 1/4 times 1/8. What? Prove it. I love how you're all waiting for someone else to do the math when I'm gonna all stare at you awkwardly until you have something typed on your calculator. What do we get? 2. So when I rewrite it, I simplified this to 3 and y to the 2nd power. Yeah? Are you ready for the fun part? Alright, so when I'm taking something to the 1/2 power, I'm taking the what? Square root. Okay? So if it has to the 1/2, the 2 specifically, when the denominator is 2 specifically, I'm taking the square root. Okay?
It's 0.5.
Oh, dang. Scrolling. Alright, so we're going to talk about something called radical expressions. So, what is a perfect square? It has to do with square roots, right?
A number that does not result in a fraction or decimal when you square root it.
Okay, so he's correct. A number or decimal that we did this last year. If I said 2 squared, it's 2 times 2, correct? What does that equal? 4. Okay. Now, 4 is a perfect square. What undoes exponents? Square rooting. So if I undo 4, type in your calculator and see what the square root of 4 is. Hold it up when you have it. What's the square root of 4? Prove it for yourself. Square root of 4. What do we get? 2. This right here proves to be a perfect square. When I square root a value and it equates back to its whole number. Okay? So my perfect squares are those perfect, beautiful whole numbers. So if I go down the line, 3 squared is what? 9. And in the same thought process, if I undo the squaring, the square root of 9 is 3. Remember last year we talked about that perfect circle? Boop, 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 boop. You can just go round and round and round. Okay, so from this unit and moving forward, we need to memorize our perfect squares. They're going to come very naturally. So 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared? 25. 6 squared? 36. Okay, I'm going to write on this side so my people in the back can see. You just keep writing on down. I'm going to go, okay, 7th grade back with a vengeance. 7 squared? 8 squared? 9 squared? What? Oh. 10 squared?
10 squared is
11 squared? 12 squared? Okay, put your pencil down when you have those written.
Oh my gosh, they're louder than you. Why are you so excited for Monday? Why are their voices so high pitched?
because they're 5 people.
They haven't seen their friends in 2 seconds, I don't know. Okay, so these are my perfect squares, meaning if I took the square root of any one of those values, it's going to come back down to be the whole number multiplied by itself. Y'all feel?
Yeah.
Feel me? Okay. Now, are those only the perfect squares I'll ever see in my life?
No.
Are there more?
Yeah.
Like 13 squared, 14 squared, 15 squared? But we just listed so many. Now, let's look at, what if I had, I can't remember which one I did earlier. We'll do this. In your calculator, I want you to find the square root of 15. So I can do control x squared because this one doesn't have any fancy numbers out to the front. 15 squared. Hold it up when you have it. What do we get?
8.872.
point, what?
7.2.
Oh wait, no, I did it right.
9, 8, 3, 3, 4, 6, 2, 1.
Whoa. Is that a perfect square?
No.
No. Also, I could have known it wasn't a perfect square because is it on my list?
No.
No. Okay. So a non-perfect square is when I square root something and it gives me a non-terminating decimal or just a really long decimal. So go ahead and label this. This is an example of a non-perfect square. Just so you have that reference for yourself. When I square root something and it equates out to a really long decimal and it's not a beautiful, pretty, cool number, that is non-perfect square. Okity dokity. Let me scrolly. So looking at, I'm going to write my perfect squares. So like when we get to brain dump season, your perfect squares are going to be a really great brain dump strategy to remember. Alright, so if I can't have fractional exponents, is there a way to rewrite 48 to the 1/2 power?
Yes.
Okay, anything to the 1/2 power means what?
Square root.
A square root. So I could put the 2 on the outside, but I don't have to because that radican means the square root. Now, is 48 a perfect square?
No.
Can I figure that out by not even doing the math?
Yep.
Why? How do I know?
Not
It's not on my list, okay? So when I solve out the square root of 48, it's going to give me some crazy decimal number. What we're doing, is it dead? What did it say? No, okay. When we're doing radical expressions, what we're going to do is we're going to simplify it down. Do you remember, don't write this, I'm inspired. Do you remember prime factorization?
Yes. Slightly.
Ish. So like, don't write this, don't write this. If I had 42, what 2 things make up 42? Multiplicative. 24 and 2?
No. 21 and 2.
21 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Is either of those prime? The 2? What 2 factors make up? Are either one of those prime? Both of them?
Yeah.
So I could say that 2 times 3 times 7 is 42, right? Okay, do you remember that process?
Yeah.
Okay. So with prime factorization in 6th grade, we didn't solve anything, right? We just simplified it out. We just showed the strand that was happening. Oh my gosh. Yes, ma'am. Highly read the bus today. Alright, so what we're doing when I'm simplifying my non-perfect square roots is I'm simplifying it down. I'm showing the process. So the first step, find, nope. We're going to say find the largest, I'll move in a second so Emmy can see in Gilbert. Okay, so what I'm going to do to simplify this down to show the strands that creates it is first I'm going to find the largest divisible perfect square. Once you write that, I will show you what it looks like. So it's kind of like prime factorization a little bit, ish. So I want to think, is 48 divisible by any of the perfect squares? That's my first thought. Is that number in my square root divisible by any of these? Is 48 divisible by 4? Yeah?
Yeah.
Check it. Try it. See it. Prove it. 48 divisible by 9?
Nope.
Prove it. It's 48 divisible by 16.
Yes.
Okay. Is 48 divisible, do I need to try any more? Because 25's I know off the top of my head. 25, 50, 36 is too close, and 49 is too high. So there were two perfect squares that 48 is divisible by. There was 4 and there was 16, but I want the what? So what am I going to pick? 16. So what I say, because I'm dealing with square roots, is the square root of 16. What multiplied times 16 to get me 48? 3? Do we agree with Jaslyn? So when I break the square root of 48 apart, I'm saying the square root of 16 times the square root of 3 gives me the square root of 48. You with me? Mm-hmm. And I'm just simplifying. Are either one of those a perfect square I could simplify? 16? What's very chatty today. What's the square root of 16? 4. So I'm going to circle and strike it because that simplifies out. And when I simplify it, I lose my square root because when I take the square root of 16, that square root symbol goes away. Is 3 a perfect square? No. Is it going to give me some funky decimal? Yes. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to leave it. So my expression, I would just leave it like this. 4 times the square root of 3. I'm just simplifying it down. I'm rewriting an equivalent expression. So the square root of 48 is very much equal to 4 times the square root of 3. But Emmy, how do I know I'm right? Check it. I can check it. So if I were to go to Desimos, you can always check yourself. Alright, so when I go to Desmos, first I'm finding the square root of 48, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's going to give me 6.928, blah, 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 blah. And I want to see if it's equivalent, so I'm leaving that one up there. And I'm going to type 4 out to the front because it's just itself, it's vibing, times the square root of 3. Do they equate to the same decimal? Yes. Did I simplify correctly? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I can always check myself. On to the next. Oh my goodness. What do you notice?
It's a 3-digit number.
It's a 3-digit number. You scared of 3-digit numbers?
Yeah.
What else? If you were inclined to be scared of math, what else would scare you on this problem? The fraction? Do exponents like fractions?
No.
No. Is there a way to rewrite a fractional exponent? Yay or nay?
Yes.
Yes. And if it's 1/2, it's taking the square root. So I'm going to rewrite it with my radicand.
That's an interesting one.
It is. My radicand. So now, what was that first direction? I stuttered. I can't. What was the first step and only step we wrote down?
Find the largest divisible perfect square.
Okay, find the largest divisible perfect square. So I'm going to go through my list and say, is 124 divisible by 4? Paisley says yes. Do y'all agree? Okay, so am I done? Do I need to stop checking divisibility?
No.
No, because I need to look for the largest. Is 129 divisible by 9?
No.
What about 16?
No.
Emmy says strongly no. Do you agree with her strong negative correlation there? See where I pulled that in? Is 124 divisible by 125? No. Or just
no.
25? Is it divisible by 36?
No.
What about 49?
No.
I feel like you're just telling me no.
I'm checking them.
I'm
retyping all.
checking at this point. I think it's time to stop.
What about 64?
Nope.
Did you prove it though?
Yes.
Yes.
whatever. Alright, so the only one that it was divisible by was what? 4. Okay, so I'm going to say the two factors that multiply to make 124 is the square root of 4, and then 124 divided by 4 was what? 31. So, right now, the square root of 4 times the square root of 21 is equivalent to the square root of 1.
You mean 31?
31. What?
You said 21.
Yeah, well, I wrote it right. Semantics. Alright, now if I'm in the game of simplifying, can I simplify either of those square roots? Which one can simplify down? 4. Why?
Because
It's a perfect square.
yeah.
So this one can simplify down to a whole number to give me 2. Is 31 a perfect square?
No.
So I'm just going to rewrite it. I'm going to leave it. I don't want to mess with decimals. So the square root of 124 is equivalent to 2 times the square root of 31. It's just a game of breaking it down. Could I check it?
Yeah.
Prove it. Check it. Check it yourself in Desmos or your calculator. You're going to find the square root of 124, and then you're going to find 2 times the square root of 31. Boom, they both gave you what?
11.135528727.
I was very impressed with how you stayed coordinated. Okay, so we're going to work on this a little bit more. I'll just give you practice problems. So grab a scratch piece of paper or paper that you will be able to keep in your binder. If you have one on the back of something, or you can grab some from me. There's scratch paper at the front.
I know. I didn't know if you were going to keep going, so I just decided to.
Just slow.
I was like, I got graph paper.
I think I'm so thrilled by this because last year when I was going over algebra, I was like, how do you even specifically make sense about this? I had a whole epiphany with it. Alright, with your group, I don't expect you to get these right. I just expect you to try. Go ahead with your person and simplify the square root of 80. Okay. Get as far as you can. Kayla, who's this with you? Who's this with you, Amy? Eli. And then Ethan.
You know what to do.
I know what to do. Go as far as you can.
Break it down.
So I got like decimal.
And
What after that?
We get your perfect squares. What do you do with your perfect squares?
Oh, you find out if one of the
Yeah. So divide 80 by your perfect squares. Okay. If you're wondering, there's 35 days until March 1st, and today they don't have any snows after March. So
I've heard that there's gonna be another snow like next week.
pretty much.
Check it. Check it.
is there?
I like snow.
There's a very minuscule risk of snow that it's on the European radar or track, but it is going to be freezing complex. And he was looking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, ready? However far you got, I want to stop you and go over it. So it's okay if you got stuck. I just wanted you to try it to see how far you got. So is 80 a perfect square? No. So I need to simplify it down. I'm going to start by looking at my perfect squares and dividing 80 by my perfect squares, yes? Is 80 divisible by 4? What about 9? What about 16?
Yes.
What about 25?
Nope.
What about 36?
No.
What about 49?
No.
And you can pretty much stop after that one. So you said it was divisible by 4 and 16. How do I choose?
I get the largest.
I take the largest one. So I'm going to say the two factors that multiply to make 80, the square root of 16 times the square root of 5. Do y'all agree with Paisley? Okay, so that's equivalent to the square root of 80 currently, correct? Okay. Can one of those be simplified further?
Yes.
Which one?
16.
Why?
It's a perfect square.
It's a perfect square. So when I simplify the square root of 16, I get, is 5 a perfect square?
No.
So what happens to it?
Leave it.
Just leave it. So if I were to check this, 4 times the square root of 5 should be the exact same number as the square root of 80. Check it, prove it. Did you prove it, Lily?
Yes.
Okay, I like your gumption. Alright, ready for another? If you got stuck, do you see where it was? Yeah. Ready? Alright.
My tummy.
That one. Do the square, yeah, you already knew. Do the square root, simplify the square root of 108. Oh my. Gilbert stole that answer from you.
I already did it. First one I did.
How would I get the first one you do?
It's an even number.
No,
It's an even number. It's an even number.
Why would you do those first?
It's an even number. No?
So it's 4.
But like it's a higher even number. It's
He was going for the largest. He was shooting for the kill.
I went 36. That went 64.
Interesting.
It's an even number. I'm not even.
Coach Taylor told me the other day he's never heard me like laugh very hard, and I was like, I feel like I do every day.
Yeah.
In class.
It's not on him.
Probably, I said maybe the people I work with just aren't that funny.
Okay, so the highest is stories at 30.
Prove it.
Yes.
Boom, bop, bam.
36.
Done.
What the heck did he? Oh, you were
Right, the second one?
3.
And 30.
Yes, because it's a perfect square.
It's even.
Square.
Stop.
That answer is a square. Obviously it's not. So if it's less than 6, so 6
Cause all my minutes gone.
square root of 3. We're gonna prove that with a partner.
Yeah, Julius. Alright, ready and steady? Okay, so I'm finding the square root of 108. If I look at my perfect square list, is 108 a perfect square? No, so I need to simplify it. Which of these is 108 divisible by? 36, 4, and 9? Okay, so I want to choose the what of those?
The biggest.
The largest. So that's 36, so I'm going to say the square root of 36 times what? The square root of 3 equal up to the square root of 108. Do you agree? Can one of those be simplified further?
Yes.
Which one?
6.
Okay, it's perfect square, so it would simplify to, and is 3 a perfect square?
No.
Sadly, no. Now, if I were to check it in Desmos, the 6 times the square root of 3 should be beautifully equivalent to the square root of 108. Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. What time do we get out? 58?
Yeah.
Oh, if we packed up right now, I'd lose my mind. Alright, do 50. You have really good number sense. Don't you love this? Isn't it thrilling getting away from slope?
Yes. Yes. Is that right? Slope was haunting my dreams in Springsby. I actually had a dream of you teaching me slope. I had a dream of you teaching me slope. That's a pretty scary dream. Macy, Xavier, and all of that. Wait.
Why is it scary? That's so offensive.
No, not you. I just don't like slope.
That.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have dreams of worse things.
I don't dream.
That's also weird.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just depends on my mood. Oh wait, guys, wait.
I love algebra. After teaching algebra and then after teaching advanced 7th grade last year, algebra is so much more fun. It's like a puzzle. Once you learn something so high, you just can't teach flip. Alright, square root of 50. Is it a perfect square? But it's one off. Still not a perfect square? Doesn't matter? Okay. So, what's the highest divisible perfect square?
25.
So, 25, the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. Can one of those be simplified further?
Yes.
Square root of? And it would simplify to? So if I typed in 5 times the square root of 2, it would be, oh, that's a nice oval, beautifully equivalent to the square root of 50. You may now type out.
It is.
Oh my god. It's not. Not until I put it in a warm up in 2 weeks and you've forgotten all about it, then it'll be hard.
Yeah, that's always what happens.
Y'all can always do it in isolation.
It's okay, guys. I've taken thorough notes. Thorough. Happy you missed the whole week.
I just took thorough notes, guys. I can't.
Well, I think you would need
If you want to give your chance at the exponent page, I'll be my Thursday morning if you want to check with me before you finish. Barring those notes. Calculators, formulas, I'm putting Bryson hopefully today at independent and warm up. So, get your lives together. Lovingly. Also, if anyone is enthralled, I got a new pencil case.
I saw that briefly, but I didn't know. My sister got a new pencil case.
Well, my other one, I don't know if you knew, it's in my office. It was a bag, which worked, but the zipper is broken. So I have all these pens and I was carefully set it and hope nothing spilled. Now I have one to separate. So the square pens are separated from the other pens.
I like that.
Thank you.
I just have pencils in my backpack.
Because before they were just all in a conglomerate. And if I wanted a flare, or like if I want, like these are the old colors and these are the new colors. So I need to wear these down before I wear these and I don't want to intermix the old and the new.
I just keep all my pencils in my phone bucket and not even on.
I don't
That's easy. Or I would shove them in the backpack to the pocket. Yeah,
I also do that. I also Let me tell you, the first Thursday morning, this is what I did. My pencil top came in the afternoon. It's organized my pencil in that last 5 minutes and I was like,
reorganize my backpack every time we have a long weekend.
so if you did it this past weekend, no, you didn't do it every week. So you can organize this for you.
I will have this one. I need to be amazing The binder set. Oh my goodness, he's sick.
Ooh, a life size?
Oh well, then I don't know what you're talking about, Juliana, because I know I didn't do that.
I love Gilmore Girls! Is this your first time watching it?
But
I was gonna say, take me through the experience. That's my comfort show. That's what I'm talking about. when
But
Rory.
Rory is the best there, in my opinion.
Okay, but who's your favorite, Dean, Logan, or Jess?
Dean. Or not Dean, Jess. Why did I say Dean? Dean. Jess is better.
Really?
Yes, he was so sweet to her in the
What?
beginning. Yes. Well, like, he bullied her, but like, he read, or wait, the guy that read the book for him.
That was Jess.
Yeah.
I believe it was Jess.
Yeah.
Mine is Logan all the way.
I know.
And Omnia Pros. Oh, look, Kylie, speaking of.
It's on your phone.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's why I told you about it, because I was like, she loves
Jess,
girls.
really?
Yes. It's an unpopular opinion, but
It
it's
is.
my opinion.
It is. I feel like a lot of people are either Team Jess or Team Dean, but no one's Team Logan.
Exactly.
Miss Gracie, I got a question for you. Have you ever gone out of focus so hard that when you bring yourself back into focus, you get scared?
No.
No?
That's
Just a name.
So, with what we are learning about today, you could take a square root and then simplify it. Well, if you square both of the terms, so a would become a squared, and the square root of b would just become b, you get your original result squared.
Cool.
So you
And
can,
then did you type those two in?
yes, so a equals 5 and b equals 2 because that's what it was up there.
That was very neat.
1 and 9.
What?
1 and
I
9.
might find your numbers. Oh, yours.
Goodbye.
Bye, have a good lunch.
saw you. What's up? How was your winter break?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Don't sell my stuff, Anita.
I didn't even do nothing on the freaking winter break.
Literally.
Where do I? My God.
I wish this was poison. I mean, what?
Freaking shitty. Freaking mental health. Monkey.
Monkey.
Mental health monkey.
Alright, what class do you have? Oh, you have snow, don't you? What do you have this class period?
Band.
Oh, why do you come all the way out here?
Bro, I literally have mad.
Oh,
They put me so
before.
far. Take forever.
It does. Well, it didn't help that you come by and chit chat with Coach D. So it's she's about to crash. Oh my goodness, what did he say?
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. We're talking to me.
Do we have docs and kids like get rid of them? No docs?
Y'all gonna win Thursday?
Yeah, of course. Excuse me? Hey, I got
That's for Maneja, not for you. Bye, Maneja. Have a great day.
That's not funny.
Still my top 10 favorite student. You know I'm just giving you a hard time, right?
No.
Hey, how are you? How's the book going? Did you get your stuff back?
You need your stuff back.
You gotta go over to Washington Side.
Oh, okay, so should do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been thinking about it.
It's dangerous.
I'm not gonna, okay, so it's plan A, it's plan party.
Okay, it's kinda cold right here. Can you hurry this up?
Yeah. Hey, my
Right
fly.
there. Okay, so my first plan is to call it there and be like, hey, I'm sorry that I
Let her know
sorry
that you're gonna be there, because if not,
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought
if you don't,
one.
if you don't, it's trespassing. I'm telling you, they'll put you on probation.
Hi.
Hello?
No, to where like you have to spend a week, you have to go to the day, you have to check the parole officer, Hey, gimme!
That's loud.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Don't touch the button. Come in, have a seat. Hey, Rodrigo.
You want this, sir?
No,
Thank you.
I didn't say yes, so.
Okay.
Hey, Livia. Why not?
Y'all are so big, bro.
You don't mind?
No, they all want to sit over there.
Jasmine,
I'm trying to bring you over there. Yeah, try to bring yours here. You need a time pressure. Here. Wait, no, I don't have. Stop your nonsense right now. Get away from me!
a shoe.
No, get away from me, bro. I don't care about no
Why is he gonna hit you?
My mom.
This is
My dad.
Alright, come in, have a seat. Yes, quickly. Quickly. Quickly.
Yeah, quick.
What are you doing?
She's right there.
Levi, bump up a table. Zayden and Gibby, move over to the last table on that side.
Oh my god, she's moving, guys.
Just those. Or you can move up, I don't care.
I got cereal.
Oh my god, you found it! Good job, Dora.
Okay, found it.
Alright, here we go.
Ooh, say what?
For today, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a brief warm-up. There's only a one-day warm-up, so tomorrow's going to be submitting it, and then Wednesday's going to be quizzes, and then Thursday will be something else. So all we have is a brief 4-question warm-up, and then Coach T is going to teach you how to find an area of a circle, and there'll be a small assignment on that. Are there any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So you are going to turn this into me today, not tomorrow, not the next day, today. So you're going to have 12 minutes to do 4 problems. So how many minutes per problem?
12.
No,
13.
tres.
Oh. 13.
Tres,
I thought it was 12.
9, 12.
Oh.
It's 12.
I know.
Don't say it's 12, yeah.
I know, and I said per question, not total. So once I give this to you, put your name on it, and Coach T is going to put it up on the board, and I'm going to walk through. I'm going to give you
2 minutes on 1 and 4 minutes on another.
1 equals 12 minutes. I don't care. Where was I going with that? Oh, I'm going to give you hints on a couple of them, and then you're going to be left to your own devices to finish the homework. So.
Come at the door.
I'm gonna guess it is.
Gabriella.
His name is like Gabriella.
We used to call he used to go by Gabby in Gabriella like a week in 6th grade.
Gibby, move over to that table. No.
Oh.
Because sometimes I go along and sometimes go down.
Yeah, I like having
That back table. I moved everyone closer.
I feel like you would give me
What? What?
I feel like you would give me farther.
Huh? He's closer to me.
I can't get my pencil.
What?
There, I did. Yep.
Oh, that's good. Where's my backpack?
I have it.
Okay.
I ate it.
Okay.
I ate it. Wait, how do you say gold?
Can I get a pencil?
Can you get a pencil?
Oh, may I have a pencil?
Here.
I'm like kind of stuck to my chair.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're in?
Obviously, I love him.
Alright, here we go.
What's today?
Today is
January
13th.
13th.
I got pictures.
Little Ollie.
Basketball.
Little Ollie.
Back fresh out.
I think my 8th period.
Alright, 12 minutes. That means when the big hand hits the, let's see, the 9 would be 10 minutes. So when the big hand's between the 9 and 10.
Can you help us with number 1?
I'm about to give you some hints.
Leslie, where?
Which ones are you going to do over with us?
Oh
I'm
my
not going to
God.
give you the answer to any of them.
Guess
I
what?
know.
Monkey butt.
Mr. T, guess
What?
what? Your office on the paper.
My office everywhere.
No, your Leslie Peanut.
Oh yeah, she is my office. She is the biggest office.
Yeah, she's in her
I
paper.
thought Gracie was your biggest op.
No, Gracie's in her own category.
But she's in your paper, like your workup.
Yes, yes.
What category am I in?
Aaliyah, what is that?
Cereal.
Cereal.
Alright, here we go. Oh, I need to turn it
Not
off.
crunch.
We're recording. Let's see.
You're
Where's
better.
Cocoa Crisp?
Ooh, don't say that.